read in closed session.
So moved.
Motion made by Jeff Stahl. I'll second. Call roll, please.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning? Yes. Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes. Motion to employ Rachel Allen as high school color guard coach effective immediately.
So moved.
Motion made by Jessica Browning, seconded by Matt Wood. Call roll, please.
Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes.
Motion to employ Bobby Gilbert as an at-will SVI paraprofessional effective immediately.
So moved.
Motion made by Jeff Stahl. Is there a second?
Second, just a question though, does there need to be any language in there that upon completion?
Well, my biggest thing is,
I'm just asking.
No.
Okay.
It's at will.
I'd second.
yeah, it's at will, and then we need to
I
make
like
sure
that.
that impending, I'm sure everybody has to have their background checks and all those things, so.
Thank you.
Okay. So, call roll, please.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Motion to employ Jo Beth Page as a volunteer assistant, high school and middle school cross-country coach effective immediately.
So moved.
Motion made by Lori Campbell. Is there a second?
Second.
Martha Leeper. Call roll, please.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
IASB report.
I have my consent agenda first. Is that not
Oh,
right?
sorry. Yep.
Okay. So everyone received the consent agenda. I think some parts trickled in. Everybody have a chance to look at it this afternoon? All right, we're good to go. So anyone have any questions? All right, so I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Motion made by Matt Wood. Is there a second? I'll second. Call roll, please.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
All right. The IASB update is fairly brief. There is an Abe Lincoln, the first division meeting on October 2nd. If anybody's interested, it's up at West Lincoln Broadwell this time. There is also information that there's a new board member webpage. We don't have any new board members. And there's an IASB community that you're able to log into on their page. And they sort of chat back and forth if there's questions. Yeah. So that's sort of new. I actually hadn't seen it until today. So sort of discussing things that we all may have questions on. So might have some pertinent information. All right, now, where are we? Building reports?
Yep, so you've received your building reports from the principals. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't think so. Did we figure out a way to post them? I enjoy them. Is there a way to get them posted monthly or
Mr. Gurecki posts them.
does
Yeah,
he? They
yeah.
are up there? And do they go per building or are they going on district page?
They're,
Do
I
you know?
believe they're in each building.
Per building? Okay. Yeah, I think they're very informational and I think it's good for us to, do you guys have anything beyond your report that you feel you need to point out?
It's been a good first week.
Yeah.
We grew kids, so at least my building, I know we've been all busy, but
Yeah.
it's been really nice. I mean, the atmosphere and everything's been really good. Kids
Yeah.
are excited to be back. So.
Good.
I
Good
have
deal.
a question. I did not go back and look at all the handbooks, but Kylie, in your report, you had the attendance protocol,
Yeah.
which I like that. So is that attendance protocol across the district, or is that just
Yeah,
for your
the one-
building?
That was the one we worked on together as an admin team.
Okay,
That we, made sure was aligned.
Good.
A lot better than what we had to
Mhm.
go in line with what we changed last
Yeah.
year's semester, so.
yeah, I like that. I mean, it's very clear and has good boundaries and should be easy to know when you
Yeah.
need to take a step with somebody.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit more clear to talk to, like truancy and stuff, just more
Mhm.
clear with parents and everybody where all those different levels of interventions and everything
Yeah.
come into play, so.
I like that.
Do we have any enrollments that didn't take part either in the online enrollment or the day of? Did we have anybody like filter in here the first day of school, or was everybody?
We kids like 2 days ago, we had a family from Missouri.
Be the teacher night.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were getting that all taken care of, just got residency and everything.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't realize, like, we had the in-person thing going on, so my mom needed to ride to school, so we were flexible and getting that work. We'll start, I think, Friday. Is that correct? I think you're signing, so, yeah. So we just had to wait for transcripts coming back for some of the kids, to make sure they're placed correctly, but, just had a couple. I saw my 2 other international kids coming, we're adding 2 more, Poland and Germany, so, but I think that's about it.
Well, I would say definitely, like, since I've been here, I feel like the enrollment's gotten better, like everybody's communicating better. I feel like we have more bullet points to look at of who can be accepted, and someone doesn't have the right stuff. It's nice that all the secretaries and principals are talking about it, making sure that we all are aware, because a lot of times you've got kids in every building.
Yeah.
So it's nice that, like, even with this situation, that the kids are coming, and we've all been going back and forth because we found out that they were absent from their last school for the last quarter. So we've been kind of looking at their grades and digging deeper to see if their placements. We found out one of them needs to be back in the grade that they should have passed. So that's kind of nice to know that it's not just one eyes or things
Yeah.
are just being filtered through just because the parents said so. But
More
really looking at
cohesive,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think everything went good with registration. Like, we maybe had 2 or 3 per building, and that was just like older, like, they just had trouble with the computer, they don't have a computer at home.
Yeah.
But
Right.
besides that, I think everything went fine, so.
The in-person registration was really nice for the new families because the secretary was able to do the paperwork and enrollment, and I was able to like do the tours and walking through the buildings and get to know the kids and kind of show them around. And then with the online, it was very easy to pull, Michelle would pull reports and I would pull reports on the families that hadn't registered yet. We were able to like just touch base via phone. We found out that a couple had moved, a couple were struggling with the computer, and she was able to walk them through that and just print off the list and see who we were missing, which was easy.
Good. All right, so we're in the right direction. We're getting there on our online. All right, I like it.
Yeah, and thank you to Mrs. Burge for really taking the bull by the horns with the online registration and getting that worked out. That's been very beneficial for us.
Okay. So moving on to superintendent's report.
Little budget update. Our EBF numbers came out, and I was going to let you know, we saw the estimates from that showing a moderate increase for us, as well as our estimates for our corporate personal property replacement tax, looking about a 2% increase in the estimate. If we get all that, that will be great. I am not sure on the transportation claim. There's a lot of unknown with that right now. Mrs. Meadows has worked through some of that, and we've worked through some things that we saw to maybe help us increase that claim quite a bit. But the claims were due on the 15th, and they were prorated previously at 80%. And from what I've heard from the CFO at ISB, and then also another one of the CPAs that works through there that I've been discussing with, they are projecting that once these numbers all come in and the dust settles, that the vocational and regular transportation is going to be prorated at a rate of about 71%, and special ed is going to be prorated about 61%. Now, who knows? I don't know if they're trying to undersell and overperform, or if that's exactly what, but there's just a lot of unknown there with that. So, like I said, the numbers that we got to spit out that aren't even using the EAV from last year and stuff yet, have us coming in at an increase over what we were supposed to get last year, but also those numbers aren't set in stone, and we don't even know what the final proration will be until they collect everybody's stuff, do their calculations, and give that back. But I'm hoping we got our first payment last year about September 24th, but there's a correction window that's open till October or November even. So we'll start getting payments, but then those could change. Last year, our fourth payment was a little bit more than our first 3. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that. I'm going to estimate very conservatively within the budget before I bring that final tentative budget to you in September. So that's the biggest groundbreaking thing there. I will, speaking of transportation, I was going to go ahead and talk to you guys tonight a little bit about, we had done an adjustment on what we pay for the activity shuttle that goes between us and Tri-City, or us and Meridian. And I was trying to do some kind of cost saving measures there, but I really don't think it's going to be worth it for us to do that in terms of just some folks that aren't interested or willing to do that. So I am going to ask in September, unless anybody has any objections to it tonight, that maybe we have a motion to bring that back to the initial $45 that we were paying, but without any action to raise that again for quite some time. But I just want to make sure that we are getting kids transported safely and where they need to go in a timely manner. But more on that in September. But if you guys are good with that, nobody has any problems, I can start making that adjustment, and then we can take official action in September. Facilities update. The bus barn is starting to kind of come together a little bit more. I've been working with a group called FedServe through Tech to America, which is through our purchasing cooperative. And he is working on a draft contract for me right now. I did provide you with preliminary numbers, which ultimately added up to upwards of about $523 million.
Thousand.
I'm sorry, it's like 1,000. I was looking at the word million whenever I was saying that, so no. Building a bus barn has been difficult enough, and the school, and so here we go. So yeah, we don't have those kind of funds. But yeah, for the $523,000, which was close to the estimate I was projecting, we need to look at moving about $525,000 from working cash into Fund 20 or 60 to do that once the time comes. Now that'll be in lieu of the actual tear down cost. That's not included within this. The one quote that I have gotten on that one was for about $15,000 to take that down, but maintain the electric, the sewer, the things that we are going to need there to tie into. So just keeping that in mind. And he will still, he's provided us with the estimates and stuff. He's been working with Blunier, who had kind of provided us with some plans before. And then if we enter into an agreement with them, we can start getting moving on some stuff. And he thinks we could at least get a bus shelter put up before winter, which would be my target right now.
Are these similar to what Meridian? I know you talked about that.
The shelters will not be, no, these will be closer to what we had out there before. It'll be longer, but it'll be a long structure. It'll come out far enough to get over the windows of the bus, have a space to
Did you
plug
see
in
that one?
lights,
I was just trying to,
visualize.
Visualize.
yeah, I wasn't sure on the depth of what we were looking at. I was just
It looks very
agreeing
narrow
Sundays.
here, but I'm sure
It'll be
it's
about,
depth-wise.
it's about 12 feet
Okay.
in terms of the depth.
Just
14,
Meridian Sunday, so I was trying to visualize what we were getting compared to what. they-
yeah,
Not.
theirs are full-size structures to park completely inside of, and we're just going to try to get the front, in and be a place to plug up more than anything. And then the garage itself, we should be able to fit about 2 buses in if we need to, which I said with the activity bus and the vans and stuff, we can kind of get those guys in there. So if we get going with that, I was going to ask tonight during new business if we could go ahead and, of course, pending attorney review of the contracts and things like that. I've already had our attorney looking at the Tech to America agreement, which is about 71 pages long, which is through our purchasing cooperative, just to make sure all the things are met that we need to meet. And then the contract with this contractor would be much more basic. And so he has started reviewing that over the last 2 days. But if you permit me to, I will go ahead and continue on with that. Playground Phase 1 is complete, with the exception of we do want to look at maybe placing a sidewalk around it to kind of hold everything together. We started to do the dirt work and things like that, and think it would just be better for erosion's sake and the port in place to go ahead and do a sidewalk around it. Bruce is pretty confident that he can take care of that, and also thinks that will be a better option. We've started looking at Phase 2, and I'll probably next month start bringing you some drawings. Ms. Wellbaum's been working with Pat, who was from Playing Park Structures, on putting something together, and talking with Bruce over the summer, and we were looking at, the initial plan was to go back behind where the existing playground is at, but that's going to take a lot of site work. There's electrical lines buried in, and there's all kinds of things in terms of erosion and stuff that we're worried about. And Bruce said, we've got all this space right across the parking lot here, and it's very flat, it's very level. all the runoff is away from that. He goes, what if we look at maybe placing a playground in that area? And so that's what we've been looking at, and I think would be a really good option moving forward to look there, because we're not going to have to do all the engineering and the tile work and things like that. And then we can go ahead and pull the remaining bad stuff out of the playground and put that out to seed and kind of have a soccer field and stuff like that, which I think then if we have grass and things out there, will hold the water better, to where we don't have a huge ditch going through all the time where the kids are playing at. So when I get some more of those design stuff, I will share those with you. We haven't got any pricing or anything yet on what we've been looking at. I'm guessing they're going to come in at around $200,000 with the amount of poured in place. We are looking at cost saving aspects though, like doing the rubber mulch under the swings with swing mats and things like that. So once we kind of get a better idea what we're looking at with what we've drawn up so far, we can kind of go back to the drawing board and see where we're at and come back to you guys.
You said in your recommendation northwest of the building, is that where the baseball field is?
So it would be,
South of that a little bit? Or
it would
more
be-
south of the current playground?
it would be kind of east of where the baseball field's at. So I guess that would be, it's northwest of the school, but it's going to be southeast of the ball field there,
Okay.
or directly east of the current playground. It's kind of where we have the sign for the Weldy Walk,
Oh, yeah.
Parking lot ends.
and the parking lot ends, but
Like
there's
you're
kind
gonna
of
walk
a,
up to the,
Okay, okay.
the concession stand in the
Yeah,
ball field.
I think there's some trees there that we may have to look at taking down, or at least one of them or something to get into that space there, but we haven't measured everything out exactly right there.
There was only one tree
Yeah,
there
one
when we
tree.
had, yes, and we literally during the ball thing, we were like all huddled, there was like 40 of us under one tree trying to get some kind of shade. It was 100 degrees. All right.
So
you're
they
gonna take
put
it
shades
out.
up with playgrounds now, so that shouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, we're looking at that, and hopefully he'll get something back to us pretty soon, and we can come back and present that to you to look at. So good stuff. SVMS updates. Parking lot project is done. We got a lot of the drainage out of there with the help of the village and the township. There's still some there. I happened to be there talking to Christina last week when we had that good pop-up shower where we had a lot of rain in a very short amount of time, and I got to go out and play in the water a little bit and look at it. People probably thought I was crazy. I did get some looks from people as I was driving around in my car around the parking lot and getting out and walking around periodically. We don't have quite the lake that was out there. There's still some drainage that's, in effect out there, but overall the parking lot looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. The handicap stalls look awesome that they did. I think it was a very big improvement. The tuck pointing is working. I think all the grinding is complete. We've got the ceiling and stuff that we need to finish up. He is projecting will be completely done by the 25th. So we'll see. They've been limiting their work pretty much to evenings and weekends now since kids are back in school to kind of stay out of the mix there. But I am pretty confident we're going to get that fixed up. There's a few broken sidewalks from the heavy equipment. They're going to replace those before they get out of there. That'll be the last piece of the puzzle. And we should be good to go there. The classroom renovations have been done. I do want to look at some drainage situations that I showed the facilities committee as we were walking around that are out there from where the gutters are coming. I think that we can do some stuff there to kind of get that away from the building and help that out a little bit. Intech has been in helping out with the checking out some of the air conditioners throughout the district, but primarily in that west side of the building there that we've had the most problems with. And we've been collecting data for about a week and a half now that we're hoping to kind of get some ideas on some control solutions maybe that we can do to kind of get those things a little more lined out. At least they have them running when they should be running at this point. But we need to have a way to control them and make sure that we can turn them off when we need to turn them off and that they're not working on a weird schedule. We have had some discussions with NG or Optorant, whatever they're called now. They were pretty fruitless other than them at least giving us the data that they said they had in terms of set points and stuff. But they pretty much said, oh, it was working when we left. I don't know what happened, but I said, I don't know that they were ever working that well. But we're going to try to figure out what's going on and try to get some of the things taken care of. We did have a case with all this humidity, and we are in a terrible humid time that I can't really remember in recent times. But I know the locker room, the boys' locker room at Iliopolis, we found right before school, they found some mold growing on the walls, and it was a pretty good sized job. I think that we've got it figured out now. We had a couple dehumidifiers running in there. I did have Peerless come, and they cleaned the area up for us. I did the walkthrough with them. They did a great job. Identified some problem areas maybe that we need to give some attention to in terms of some cracks in the concrete and stuff like that we should fill up because they think moisture could be entering in through there. The locker room is not air conditioned, so with the heat we've been having, the air conditioning in intermittent parts of the building, I think that may have contributed to some of it, but we've never had an issue in there before. I don't know why it happened this year, but Peerless came in and for $13,000 they took care of us on a good day's work. So we've been keeping an eye on it and monitoring it closely, and we're just trying to make sure that we don't repeat that elsewhere. But they helped us out. So we did have a hot water heater replacement here at the high school. King Lar came in and took care of that for us. Or not, they didn't replace the whole heater, but some parts that had failed. So we were able to get that going before the start of school. And then, of course, like I said, Intech has been in and out of all the buildings. We did finally get the compressor installed at the primary building. That took us forever to get from Train. We finally were lucky enough to get it about a week before school got going. So it should be operating on a full load now. Enrollment numbers, I provided you with projected enrollment numbers. We are down from last year. These are not finalized yet. We will have our fall housing report around our September board meeting, so I will get you those finalized numbers that will be reported to the state at that time, but you have at least looked at it and got to see where we're at across the district currently. So still a lot of time to go on that. Old business, we had discussed the discontinuation of 8th grade promotion last month. This really isn't, it's something I know you guys wanted to discuss a little bit more, and with Mr. Downing being here as well. It's not anything that we have to take board action on, but something that obviously is a tradition that we want to have discussion and transparency in talking about that. So I'll open the floor to that.
Do you have time to find out what other districts are doing? Remember at the end of the meeting, I asked if you could, and you thought you'd had a spreadsheet on that before.
I surveyed area superintendents, and from the ones I got back, it was kind of a 50-50 split on what people are doing. There was, some that said, I don't want to get rid of that, and others said, we got rid of it, it was the best thing we ever did. But there was no overarching trend of this is what everybody's doing.
Right.
It was
And
all
so,
over the place.
I guess for me it was, if you get rid of it, it seemed to be that we had to come up with something else to do. And so I wondered what
What is I think we all talked about like a form of recognition, like they're still being,
But to me, that, when I read that, that still looks like a graduation. You're just calling it, you're still having parents there. You'd have to have it in the evening to have parents there. You're still going to recognize achievements.
like an awards night. Do you
It
guys
really
do an awards night, or what are you anticipating
about the
happening
same. So I
without?
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between an awards night and a graduation. When you walk into, I've planned a high school graduation, and I feel like that's what we're doing. Not to in depth some of the things that you do for high school graduation, but it is very much mimics a high school graduation. And, I've done middle school stuff, and awards night, it's just, it's awards night. Parents come, it's very casual. The kids all sit up there, there's no band, there's no the whole walking down the aisle and pictures taken. We could do a picture photo op, obviously. But, where the parents come, the kids get a certification, those kind of things. I think the biggest thing that my team has talked about and other people have brought is I don't want to break the big experience of what a high school graduation is. And to me, that is a very meaningful thing, and it's a very powerful statement to do that. 8th grade, I feel like when you're leaving 8th grade, it's like you're leaving that whole like elementary, that middle piece, and it should be like a celebration for the kids. I feel like this is more for parents and family, and we need to celebrate the kids. Like, what is something they like to do and want to do? And so that's where we were wanting to do something for the parents, like an awards night, but then do an activity, a big field trip, or picnic with like fun games. It's just, we've just come up with a lot of great ideas. Of course, if you read the notes we talked about, we want to start just a discussion group, that's got parents in it, staff members, just kind of like coming up with some ideas and coming up with a format, that, really celebrates the kids and what they like, saying goodbye to their friends and celebrating that time. Because one of the things I noticed that we've done since I've been there, is we get the graduation time and the kids leave and they're not there because they're getting ready for the graduation. Well, then the school's always done like this school picnic, and so we're playing games, we're eating food, all this other stuff, but the 8th graders are not there, so they're missing that time. And so it's kind of like, why are we not involving them? Why aren't we having something where we're celebrating them together as, students are leaving, they're going on to high school. And so I think having a team coming up with something that is unique to us and caters to our kids would be great. And I know why there was a graduation back in the day, because that was, one of our communities, that was where kids graduated from, was 8th grade. And I think it's a great tradition. I think it's nice, but just like, how many people have a landline? How many people, have a desktop at home? Things change. So what can we do to celebrate our kids? And this is what Sangamon Valley does. And a lot of the middle schools do things differently everywhere, And we could make a graph instead of, like Jonathan said, it's going to be 50-50. There's some people that do a graduation. I've seen pictures. My own niece had a little graduation, but it was different than what we do, and stuff like that. And I think it's just one of those things. I think we can make it unique how we want to make it.
Sure. And I'm okay with that. So if you create a focus group though, and you get all this input, then who's going to make the final decision? If it's not a board
focus
action.
group, I think it's just like a leadership team. You come up with pretty positive ideas. Let's say you come up with 10 ideas, you narrow down to 3 really good ideas, and then you bring it to the staff, and say, okay, this is what we come up with. What do you guys think? And then we all vote, take that, and then present it to our families. And I think the best group to do it with would be the 6th grade group that came in. It was a small enough group. They're great kids, they're well behaved. They could activity with the parents are very involved, with those different things. In fact, we have, I think, 2 or 3 staff members that have their kids in that group. So, they spoke up about wanting to do something different.
So you'd start it with that group when they got to 8th grade? Is that what you're saying?
Because we thought it would be something that would give us at least 2 years to kind of like implement and talk about. So it's not something we're just gonna like,
Right.
we're not doing this
No.
this year, everybody. But
Well,
It might be simpler.
so I originally brought this up, right? My thing is, we do production this year, it doesn't happen. If there is something that comes later, great, let's entertain it, let's listen to it. I don't see everything you just said is kind of my point, right? We're not graduating. It's a requirement of the state to get through 8th grade. So I don't think we need the moment circumstance of what we've been doing, was my point.
I was a little disappointed too. I don't know how it went this year, but last year when I gave out diplomas or I don't even know why we do that, or certificates or whatever we do, none of the kids made speeches, and that used to be the big thing. Like they would go up, they would do, if they were the DAR winner, they were, and if we're not requiring that, like what are we even doing like the graduation for, was kind of my thought. I'm like, this isn't them going and doing any kind of production other than walking up and getting their certificate and walking back. So I am on board with changing it. I would like to see some type of recognition. If you institute an 8th grade trip or something like that, that would be great. But
because our thing is never to take away recognition from the kids. It's just, you look at a student's point of view, like, okay, we're literally walking down with the same song. We have all the people stand the same way, shaking, you get this like little booklet, like what 8th grader really is gonna think anything about this booklet? You know, I think they'd rather have a pizza and ride a roller coaster. I mean, that's just a bag of chips. But the thing is like trying to figure out, okay, so then what happens when we get to high school? You know, because we all think about that. When we went to high school, that was a big deal to walk up in front of people and get that diploma, and just how great that was to think of all the years you passed through. And to think that was your first experience as a high school student, and like wanting to create.
And that is more of the send-off period. You likely may not see those people again, but you're going to see your 8th grade friends in 9th grade in 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get that point too. I think there's something that could definitely be done differently or not at all. So.
Yeah, I think, and my daughter, when she did 8th grade, she went to Decatur, Garfield and Montessori school, and they did like, it was a send-off day. And so they had a send-off day, and so what they did was, I mean, they just had a certification, and so all the kids sat up there. It's about the size of our school. And the teachers were the ones that stood up there, and each teacher like had so many kids, and they would present them a certificate and said something funny and great about the kids. So each kid had at least 2 sentences said about them. And I just thought that was so intimate, because you could tell the teachers really knew the kids, and like the parents loved it, and people were laughing. And then they had like cupcakes and punch outside, and then the parents left, and then there was a school dance, so they called it a send-off dance. So they dressed up in their little, you know, they looked all cute and everything, and they had the dance, and then the 7th and 6th graders joined in with the dance, so they got to be there, you know, to say goodbye. So there's, you know, there's all kinds of different things we could do to make it special.
Yeah, I agree with changing it up from high school, but I do think it's still a pretty major, it's kind of like a maturing thing. You know, when you go to high school, you're more on your own, you know, you become more independent, and so kind of that transition. So I do think it's important that we have something different from high school. I'm totally fine with, but just what you described sounds perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there's all
You
kinds
know,
of
just
fun,
to
creative
change
ways.
it up, but I don't want to see us not have anything, just send the 8th graders out on a trip to fly for a day, and that's that, you know, I would still like to see something here.
I like this iteration of getting rid of graduation better than the last time we talked about it, and it was just,
Gone.
Yeah.
Tony
and-
just wanted to get rid of it.
And I
That was it.
understand what you're saying, but I think you'll create more dissension and enemies if you just say, we're done. I really do. I think that has to be the compromise, the balance. Yes, we're gonna do away with graduation the way it's looked for years,
Unless
but
you can make it happen by this spring. I mean, I think if you do nothing at all this year, I think is a
no,
problem.
he's saying you'd keep graduation. He'd start the new
Right.
Keep everything the
procedure
same.
with the
I think
6th
anything
grade.
you
Right.
change a tradition, you've got to, I don't want anybody to think we're just like, nobody wants a half-baked cake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not just gonna present something to my staff, because I feel like if you're going to do something meaningful, you've gotta take time to get people's voices and try to see what everybody, and I think it's important that kids also get their input into those things.
Have you talked to the kids much?
No, I mean, it really hasn't been something we've brought to the kids yet. This is something that just, you know, Jonathan brought it up to me. I mean, I brought it up to Bob when I first came in, just kind of, you know, because this was the first time I've ever experienced anything like this, like an actual graduation. And I was kind of like, what is this going on? You know, like, why, what?
And it has changed drastically over the years. I mean, from
Yeah.
girls in long formal dresses to more like homecoming dresses, to now they just wear
Sundresses or
whatever, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so it has kind of changed on its own, so.
Yeah.
I don't-
I'm on board with doing away with formal graduation, but my 8th grader told me to come here tonight and fight for her graduation. So I don't even think she knows what it is. Well, she's not a band, so she's played for graduation.
Yeah.
But they do know, and I don't know that they're happy about it.
The only way that any kid would know about that was if maybe a parent was talking I mean, I think it's just like any gossip or anything's being told. I mean, we have Danielle from ROE's in the cafeteria with us, and kids are all, oh, is she one of the new principals? Mr. Downing leaving to work in the office. And I'm like, well, I do work in the office. So, but,
Well, I think the consensus is, I think we can do without it. I think we can, you can obviously come up with something to recognize them in some way before they're, because aren't they still out a week before the kids or several days before?
usually it's like, I think 2 days.
Okay.
Last year, I think it was like a day.
Oh,
The way
okay.
the calendar fell. But yeah, but I have no question in mind that we won't have something cool and awesome the kids won't.
Mhm.
I mean, one thing I do love about our school is we celebrate a lot of stuff and do a great job in celebrating students at a middle school level. And a lot of schools don't do that. You know, we do that on a quarterly basis, and a lot of times kids don't even go on field trips in middle school, and we provide that for our students. We still are going to keep our 8th grade trip in the sense we have an historical 8th grade trip that we do. And I think that's very important that we keep that, because everything they've learned in history, social studies kind of comes to an end with that trip. And so I told the staff that that wasn't even an option to take away, because I feel like it's like a very visual thing that our kids actually get to see and understand, go to the courthouse. And I've never been to the courthouse before, but it's cool that our students get to see that and do those kind of things. And a lot of times with bigger schools, you can't do. And so I don't want to get rid of that. And I think this celebration will be something different, you know, because I think it's important. You know?
Mhm. Okay. Well, I don't think there's anything for us to do, right?
No.
You're gonna stick it, you're gonna stick with 2 more years of it, though?
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's not something that we want to do with the 6th grade class, if it's something that we discuss in our group, whoever, I'll offer that out to people who want to join. If they say, well, why don't we just keep these 3 years, because they're already in middle school, and then you're talking to the 5th grade class, and those parents know that when they're coming in, the kids already know that we are not going to have a big formal graduation.
I mean, on that note, I'm kind of back with where Josh is. I think, if you're gonna cut it and make something different for this year. I mean, if you can get it done in that time frame, I just think saying, well, you're gonna get it, but you're not, I mean, I think just nobody from now on is gonna get it, maybe the simpler version. But obviously you guys are dealing with all that, so, that's on you, I guess, but.
I guess I'm slightly confused though. It says no board action is needed, but don't we set the date and approve the time to do it?
We do that, yeah.
So I guess that's where I was trying to get ahead of that.
Mhm.
Sure.
Is once we get to that, it's like, hey, let's set this date, and then there's this discussion again.
Yeah.
That was the point of my word.
And that's usually, yeah, like February-ish kind of range, but.
Because you wait 2 more years after my kids.
See, we could do this forever. I mean, you could just keep saying, well, let's wait till these kids go, and let's wait till these, and then you're just, I
I
mean,
think it's a lot to throw out and have for this year. I mean, I know it seems like it's a long time away, but it's.
It happens quick. I mean, the school calendar happens quick. The only reason I, just in planning situations, is funding. If we were to vote for a trip and do different things, you've got to have a budget. I know in the situation where I've been, if there was a budget, that class, the parents were responsible for raising money for certain things. So if we were to do a trip, how much would a charter bus be to take, to something like that? And then what about, we're doing a certification thing, what is that gonna look like? And, those are things I think about. And I think if you're gonna do a discussion with people and trying to get everybody's voice, and it's gonna take a few months to kind of gather that data and gather those thoughts, and to just knock it out this year, I just don't feel like it would be as wise. I mean, that's just my point. I don't feel rushed in planning something that's supposed to be meaningful for kids. Because I feel like if we just do it we're like, oh, let's not do it, let's do this, then I feel like, oh, we could have done this, we could have done this, and it looks different, and better, and it's better to come up with a grand plan, kids discuss it, talk about it, kind of get those viewpoints, I think would be important.
Okay. And we're sure we don't have to do any board action.
Yeah, that is according to Barney. I don't think we even have to really do board action to set graduation and promotion either. It's just something we've always done. So,
Okay. In the olden days.
so.
All right.
Speaking of the olden days and the 1961 International Tractor, we've got 0 bids. And so I am going to go back to the drawing board and lower the minimum bid that we had in the paper there and put it out there again. And I got it to Brett Hitchings over at Heartland Tech about a week or so ago, and he knew some tractor guys. I don't know, I guess it's the wrong color or something, maybe because it's yellow and it's not red, nobody's interested in it. But I'm gonna throw it out there again, and maybe we can move it at some point. But it's a cool old tractor, and
Jeff, you don't need a 1961?
No, but I was thinking maybe the Ansar Ag Corps, they give away a tractor a year.
What is it?
That'd be kind of cool.
it's a
1961?
61, it's an international tractor.
What
Turned it into a
about,
planter out front.
It was, well, I think Bruce said it's got a carburetor and some tires and stuff for it, and Bruce said he got it to fire a little bit, but just, we don't have time to sit there and
Can the
rebuild a
ag
tractor.
mechanics
They don't want it.
They don't either?
They don't want to do anything with it, so
well, getting
Okay.
parts,
What was the minimum?
yeah.
What was the-
What
I
about
put
putting
$1,000 on it as based on the other tractors that I saw. I thought that would be fair. I think most of them that I saw in that condition were in the $2,500 to $3,000 range, just based on some different websites and stuff that I went to and that when Bob and I talked about it. So thought that was a pretty fair way to start, but we can drop it down a little bit and see if that gets us some more bites or whatever. But we're not putting it out there nationally either, so we're fishing a smaller pond for that. But
Did you
I
run
was
it up
just
to
thinking, we
Martin?
post it, yeah, Martin Auction is what I was thinking in Clinton.
oh yeah, I don't know.
I don't know legality of whatever it is, but
I don't know much about them, but
We take random things up there.
yeah.
so that may be something to look at. But yeah, I don't know. But I just want to get it out of the bus barn
Put it
before
on
we
the
tear it
trailer
down.
for sale and take it out to Farm Progress Show. Have it
Put
in the
Farm
parking lot.
Progress?
Maybe
Okay.
somebody would buy it.
Or just put it at the end of my lot on Mound as they're all going to the
There you go.
Farm Progress Show.
Okay.
They
No
can,
kidding.
They can see
They
it
can
for
see
sale.
it.
Well, that's maybe a good idea. We may just do that. When is the Farm Progress
Make
show?
sure you- make
Next
sure you-
week.
Next week, okay.
Make sure you put inquire inside general fence.
no. That was not the accurate, just put a phone number. I'll sell it for you.
Have Brittany go take some flyers over when they go on their field trip over there.
There you go.
Down the middle there.
I'm gonna tell her, let's get it going. So we'll see what we got next month. I'll
So we're
put a
tabling
pin in
this
that.
motion.
That'll be
then, right?
tabled then.
Okay.
It's like the best bid you can
Yeah.
get. It's all and it's yours.
Exactly.
All right.
Next up, we've got FFA to attend, not offend, attend National Convention.
All right, so motion to allow the SVHS FFA to attend the 2025 FFA National Convention in Indianapolis.
Oh, I'm sorry, did they just go one day, or did they spend the night?
It was 3.
Yeah.
Are they
go-
go, she just,
Yeah.
I didn't know if they were going all 3 days or what?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
Is
Motion made by Josh Hilbert.
I'll second it, and then you can have discussions.
the kids or who's paying?
They pay, we just have to do, because they cross state lines
Yeah.
and transportation, I assume.
So
Do
we transport.
I
Or do they
don't know about
charter?
transportation. They may do it. I think they do a charter
Oh,
on
okay.
that, but we do have to move on that because of the distance
So
and
ours
because of
is
state
just-
lines.
We're
Yeah.
just, we're not, no funds involved.
Yeah.
So, first by Hilbert, second by Leeper.
Yes.
Call roll, please.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
Leeper? Yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
You've received the student handbooks from the principals. And if anybody has any questions, discussion, anything they want to ask about, add?
I got a couple.
Yep.
I've emailed a few of them. I noticed in primary, I asked Bethany about it, we had 5 mental health days as excused absences. I didn't see that in the other ones. Is that school-wide, or?
It's state law,
State.
so, but the 5 mental health days, I forget when they did that, as a couple years ago. So those are counted, like you can take a mental health day just like a sick day, but they fall within those 8 absences that we have out there. So you can be excused, I mean, until you hit the 8 days, and then there's no,
Should it be mentioned like that, though? Like, if they're not, shouldn't it be across the board, like the same verbiage, or
I mean,
does it?
our verbiage is you get 8 days
Mhm.
excused, and after that, you gotta have a doctor's note. So, if it's really pretty irrelevant to have.
Inside those 8, the 5 are built into.
Correct. Yeah, they are just like any other absence. They're just, basically what that law said was, you can use a mental health day. Just like doctor, I'm calling you in because you're sick or whatever, but after your 8 days, you better have a note if it's gonna be excused.
And then I know junior high and high school, we're trying to get together to get a more district-wide book put together. But did you get your athletic stuff from Fleming, Mr. Downing?
Did I what? I think.
Your athletic stuff in your handbook?
Uh-huh.
Did you get that from Fleming, or?
Yeah, I mean, most of the athletic stuff is just stuff that has been in there through.
Because yours was talking about like varsity letters and all that stuff in the.
Yeah,
high
I
club.
try to keep it the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
The
then
the extracurricular handbook is a district-wide
Yeah. Okay,
thing,
so
so
it's-
it puts everything in there for all grades.
And then the other question I had, they all had something about homeschooling, about how they have to place in or whatever we feel. Is there anything, do we have any students that are in and out each year, like coming for first semester, not second semester, and then back the next year?
Like homeschool?
Yeah.
No, not really. I mean, we've had people come in, I guess, mid-year or leaving, to go, but there's not like a bounce back and forth a whole lot.
Okay.
More of that, like around COVID time, we had some people that got out, obviously, but then they came back. But that was kind of one of those things, it's an anomaly more than it is, something where they do it a lot.
Yeah, most of those, I think you'll see at registration, like we had 30 in high school this year said they want homeschooling. So, we followed up with them, but we had one come back who left freshman year to go homeschool, who's not back, because they want to come back to high school, they'll be more conducive, so.
Okay.
What would they be now? Like if they left freshman year?
They completed their online schooling, and they got the rest of their freshman credit, so they still stayed on track to be sophomore.
Oh, so they would come back as a
Yeah,
sophomore,
they
okay.
stayed on track.
So they just notify you if they're going to be homeschooled, like they're on your roll, but they're homeschooled, but you don't do anything for them? No.
No, they have to, if they want to come back, they have to find one that's accredited. So they come back and try and give us those credits, and then it's not an accredited program, can't take it, and they have to repeat it. So that's pretty much the only thing, like if they're dropping out of school partway through the year, like we have a form they have to fill out and sign if they're going homeschooling. But they notify us at registration they're homeschooling, they don't have to do anything, because I'd say they're not enrolling. That's where the states follow up on that.
I was gonna say, do we report it to ISB then, that they're homeschoolers or have left a homeschool or whatever?
Yeah, because whenever you drop a kid with ISB, you have to present.
Yeah, you have to report
Where they went.
what happened to them,
Takes care of that.
so.
Okay. And then we all changed our mission statement?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else, questions on the handbook? I know I questioned the time, but that's because you guys have breakfast and the other building does not, blah, 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 they in classroom, so.
Said this version, the cell phone one in the high school is not correct. I don't know, my version has never been. I can see what you're talking about, but it starts off with students will be allowed to have cell phones, classroom devices.
Oh, yeah, I sent you back, did you get my email from this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I opened that, it's supposed to have that cross line out as like the edit, so that gets taken out, and then I dropped in, I just edited what was in there to be conducive to what our expectations are. I didn't take like what I sent out in that policy, like the Q&A essentially, I didn't put that Q&A in the handbook. I just tweaked what was in there to be conducive to what we're now expecting. So if that wording needs to change, I can do that, so.
And we're across the board, all schools now, no cell phones except in passing periods or,
Yours are out, expectations.
Yeah.
okay.
But no caddies.
Correct, they don't include their caddies.
No.
No what?
No caddies.
Caddies.
Cell phone caddies.
Yeah.
Okay. They
Sorry.
said khakis.
Me
I thought
too.
we can't wear khakis
I
now?
thought they said khakis too. I was
I'm wearing them
like,
tonight.
I'm in trouble.
wear my eggs in favorable. I think it's summer.
That's what we put in all the rooms, so I've been working
Oh,
to get like
okay.
charging stations for them,
Yeah,
so that's what the
okay.
kids have been putting them in. So they're either leaving them in their lockers or putting it in the caddy, so
Yeah.
it's not in person. So, yeah.
Got it. I like it. Okay.
And Josh, I'll make sure to go back in that, double check and send it back out too, if there's any questions.
So then we need a motion to approve the FY 25-26 student handbooks as presented.
So moved.
Motion made by Jeff Stahl. Is there a second?
Second?
Browning, call roll please.
Hilbert,
Yes.
Leeper, yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes, and these are no longer available in print, only online, correct?
Print like 6 or 7 for the high school office.
Okay.
Besides that, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Press Plus Policy Update 119.
Press policy 119, I sent that to you.
Did you?
Yes.
Don't remember that.
Well, I'll save you some time on it. It is
Okay.
basically all procedural updates and things that they did a 5-year review on. So it's not really that anything has changed, it's all
Language, law,
footnotes
and-
and things like that. So not one that would constitute us having dinner beforehand for this one, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, but I would recommend that you,
And no questions to be answered or anything,
no.
correct? Okay. So motion to adopt Press Policy Update 119 is presented.
I don't have that in my.
So moved.
Either. Josh Hilbert, is there a second?
Second.
Wood, call roll please.
Leeper, yes. Stahl?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Browning?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Hilbert?
Yes.
All right, move on to the Sangamon Youth League basketball facility use request for Niantic, Harristown, and Iliopolis campuses. She said she would provide the insurance, and I assume Mr. Fleming has everything else, so is there a motion? Motion made by Jessica Browning. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Hilbert. I don't think we need roll for this. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And same thing, Midwest Rampage Facility Use Request at the Niantic campus. Do we know, has he entered any of that yet, or that's still all pending?
It's all pending, yeah.
Okay.
So maybe a little discussion on that. Like, we've taken down light poles, fencing, like, is it in safe condition to allow people to get out there and start running equipment? It's been left for so long. that-
Wasn't there something with that it had a pitching mound or did not have a pitching mound, or there was something with the mound that I remember,
They took the mound out.
mound out.
Because
so-
there was just basically the big rubber piece, the mound was kind of gone, so they pulled it out, but I mean, it's just flat ground.